Hey guys, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about one of my favorite places on earth, a place I have visited almost a dozen times that I absolutely adore, and that is Disney's Old Key West Resort at Walt Disney World. I'm going to share with you the pros, the few cons, tips and tricks to getting the most out of your stay, and I'm really glad that you're here. Okay, before I go any further, if you are not already subscribed and you're someone who watches the channel regularly, it would mean the world to me if you would hit that big red subscribe button and then don't forget to hit those little bell notifications. That's how I know that the content that I'm making is valuable to you guys, and it just means the world to me. So if you would do that, I would love it. Also, if you're looking for a way to support the channel, at the very top of the description box below, I've got 3 different ways you can do that. So I will let you go down there and explore and decide if that's something you'd like to do. We are members of Disney Vacation Club, and Disney's Old Key West Resort is a Disney Vacation Club property, but you absolutely do not need to be a DVC member in order to stay there. You can book your stay there using your own points, you can use rented points, and you can also book it directly through central reservations with Walt Disney World. It is a timeshare resort, therefore there are villas only in this particular resort. It was actually built in 1991 and its original name was the Disney Vacation Club Village. There weren't any other DVC properties other than Disney's Old Key West. And it's kind of funny because back when it opened in 1991, I vaguely remember hearing about it and thinking, oh my gosh, that would be so neat to do sometime. And boy, the prices back then, but I was a newlywed and I had no money. I didn't have money for Sprite back then, so I definitely didn't have money to buy Disney Vacation Club. But it has been around a long time. It has been through a lot of refurbishments, but it is an older resort. And if you go there, you will notice there are some features and finishes, even though they just went through a whole remodel process. You know, it's been around a minute, just like me. I like things that have been around a minute. It is a lovely, laid-back, beautiful place with studios, 1-bedroom villas, 2-bedroom villas, and grand villas. And that's probably my first pro and my first con for this resort. The pro is the villas are huge. They are the largest square footage of any other villas on Walt Disney World property. In fact, I wrote down the square footage because I knew I wouldn't remember. The studios are 376 square feet. The 1-bedrooms are 942 square feet. The 2-bedrooms, which is what I just got done staying in with my family, and I did a room tour of that, so you can go check that out. I'll put that in the description box and up here somewhere. Is 1,333 square feet, otherwise known as bigger than our first house. And the Grand Villa is 2,202 square feet. So these are massive rooms. Anything 1-bedroom and larger comes equipped with a full kitchen, and they really give you plenty of room to spread out, especially if you have a large family like mine. However, the other thing about it is the resort itself is also huge. So that's kind of the con. It is a massive resort. There are, and again, I have to write these things down. How many rooms are there? 791, I think. I wrote that down somewhere, but I think that's right. 791 units. But keep in mind, each unit can hold up to 12 people. So there are a lot of people at this resort at any given time. Now, it is very spread out, but it is kind of divided into neighborhoods, and there are multiple pools. Everyone always asks me, where is the best place to stay? Well, and this is the first tip. If you can, the best place to stay is near the hospitality house. Now, this is its own booking category if you are staying on your own points or if you are renting points. So make sure you mention it if that is what you would like. However, it's also the first booking category to get sold out, and for obvious reasons. You're just steps away at any of the near hospitality house buildings from the pool, from the main restaurant, from the boat to Disney Springs. I should say from the main pool. There are also other smaller pools throughout the resort. And it really is the most convenient place. It's where we love to stay. Building 12 is my favorite, which I shouldn't tell you guys that because then I won't be able to get it. But Building 12 is my favorite. But there are also lots of other great buildings. I really suggest that you look at a map of the resort as you're trying to decide if you want to make a room request. There are bus stops at each individual neighborhood. But if you end up having to go around the entire resort, you will really be shocked at just the mere acreage of this place. It is huge, and a lot of people don't like it for that reason. It's also another reason why people don't like Saratoga Springs. But there is an internal bus if you don't happen to have a rental car. This is one of those resorts where we love to have a rental car. And again, this is a pro, but it's also a con, right? The transportation here can be frustrating. We always like to have a car, but the big pro is because of the way the villas are laid out, you park right outside your room, which if you've ever stayed at like Beach Club or gosh, really any of the hotels, sometimes those walks back to your room can feel like miles and miles and miles after a long park day. So personally, especially since when we're there, we're usually there a full week, I love that I can pull up into my parking spot and I am either right by my room or right below, the car's right below my room. And on that front, this resort does not have elevators in every building. There are a few buildings that do have elevators. So if you have someone in your party that has mobility issues, this is so important. If you listen to nothing else in the video today and you're planning on going to Old Key West, make sure, number one, that you share with Disney that a member of your party has a mobility issue, okay? And then they will make sure that they either put you on the first floor or that they put you in one of the 3 buildings that has an elevator. You don't need to go into which building and all of that. All you need to say to them when you book, or if you booked with points, you want to call member services, or if you're renting points, you want to make sure that the member calls member services and lets them know a member of our party has mobility issues. We must either have a first floor room or a building with an elevator. Okay, so that's really important information to have. When you look at the map, you need to look at where the bus stops are. And when we were there last time, and this is always subject to change, the hospitality house was actually the last stop on the way out of the parks for the day. And the first set of buildings past the hospitality house was the first stop when you come back in from the parks at the end of the day. And here's why this is important. I forgot to tell one of my kids that when he came back once during the trip by himself. He stayed on the bus. Okay, so it comes back in. I think we were at Hollywood Studios. Here comes the bus. Here comes the bus. It stops at what would be like the second stop, you would think, which is one past the hospitality house. If he had gotten off, it was just a quick little walk to get back to our villa, which was by the hospitality house. But he stayed on. So he got a nice 20-minute journey all the way around the resort until it got to the very last stop, which is the hospitality house. So the pattern of the buses is always subject to change, but make sure you ask about that when you are deciding which stop to get on and which stop to get off. Because the same holds true. Let's say you were staying in, here's hospitality house, and you're staying in that first group of villas over here to the right. If you got on that stop, you're going to have to take a 20-minute journey around the resort before you get to your destination. However, if you walk from those buildings, the short little walk to the hospitality house, you will be the last bus stop and you will quickly be on your way to the parks. So I hope that makes sense. It is definitely a con that Old Key West is bus service only with the exception of boat service to Disney Springs. And the boat service is lovely. It is slow. So it isn't really the quickest way to get to Disney Springs, but it is definitely the most scenic, and we have used it many, many times. So just be aware the bus transportation there can be challenging. Having said that, we've never had issues with not being able to get on a bus. Our worst wait, I think, was 45 minutes once for a bus, but the reality is that can be true of Disney transportation no matter what resort you're at. I have had that same experience happen at the Contemporary. I have had it happen at Beach Club. I have had it happen at Port Orleans French Quarter. So the type of resort doesn't seem to matter as far as sometimes getting stuck with long bus waits, but you can strategize a little bit and make sure that you're doing it the most efficiently based on the current bus patterns. So I hope that made sense and that is helpful for you. The other great pro, again, as I said earlier, is most of the units, aside from the studios, are equipped with full kitchens, and that even the studios have a little kitchenette. Every room comes with a 10-cup Mr. Mr. Cuppy, a 10-cup Mr. Coffee maker with regular basket filters. So these rooms do not have the Keurig machines. So if you have a particular brand of coffee that you like, this is a great place to bring your own coffee or have it delivered through grocery delivery, and make sure you also pack basket filters. They of course also sell those at Conch Flats, which is the little general store there, which that's another pro. I love Conch Flats. It is, in my opinion, the best grocery setup at all of the Walt Disney World resorts, and specifically at all of the timeshare resorts. They have an extensive grocery section. They have an extensive frozen food section, dairy, meats, frozen lasagna, frozen pizza. If you watched my other video, you know that Scott was laid up for most of our trip, so we took advantage of that a lot. And if you are a DVC member or an annual pass holder, you get a 20% discount even on food. The only thing you don't get the discount on is alcohol. So this can be a great option if you either don't want to go to the store or if you didn't do grocery delivery. The prices really aren't bad once you add in that 20% discount. Getting on to everybody's favorite topic, let's talk about the food. So the food at Old Key West, in my view, is exceptional. The con to it would be there is not a full-on food court like you might have at, Pop Century or Art of Animation or French Quarter, that sort of thing. It is a counter service restaurant that is called Goods to Go that has the conch fritters, which I love. It has burgers, it has wraps and sandwiches, but it is a somewhat limited menu. So that's the little counter service place. And then you've got Olivia's, which if you've heard anybody talk about Olivia's, it's not just me, y'all. This restaurant is good. The food is good. The service is good. I've had breakfast there. I've had lunch there. I've had dinner there. The atmosphere is fun. It's a quieter restaurant. To me, it is a little hidden gem, and I absolutely love eating there. So I highly recommend, even if you're not at Old Key West, that you make the point to get over and try Olivia's. Kind of fun to note, oftentimes you will see Disney executives eating at Olivia's during the day, and that's because it is just a wonderful place to get a really good, solid meal with great customer service. So definitely try that out. One of the other great pros of Old Key West is all of the activities. You have a community hall with all kinds of arts and crafts. You don't have to be a DVC member to take advantage of that, although there is normally a fee associated with some things that are free if you are a DVC member. There is tennis, there are hammocks, there's a sauna by the pool. There's, of course, the large feature pool and then the other smaller pools. Of course, the normal Disney poolside things, the lifeguards do games and things during the day. There's a complete playground. There's a little sand area. There's sand volleyball. There are s'mores and movies in the evenings. This place is chock full of activities. You could stay here a week, honestly, and just do the activities at the resort, and I think you would have a fabulous family vacation. It almost has like a family camp feel if you've ever done family camp. The other thing you'll note is they will give you in your room a huge list of all of the activities. And these range from an historic tour around the resort, which I have not done, but I really would like to do. They have a weekly fun run that they do. They have like mixology classes. They are packed. It almost feels like a cruise ship itinerary when you look at all of the different activities they have planned. So especially if you're going with a larger group, like maybe it's a family reunion and maybe not everybody wants to be in the parks every day, or you want a little more laid back experience, this is a perfect resort for that. It's not that it doesn't feel Disney, because it 100% does, but it's definitely laid back Disney. This is not hustle and bustle. Like I would say Bay Lake Tower is hustle and bustle and there's stuff going on all the time. This is a lot more chill. You really do feel like you are at a really fun family resort on the ocean, except for there's no ocean. And it's just a great place to unwind and spend time with people that you love. I love this resort, obviously. Is it always the most convenient? No, but it is centrally located. The buses can be an issue, but if you can get past that, either through renting a car or through using Lyft or Uber or even the minivans, I do not think you will be disappointed with your stay at Disney's Old Key West Resort. Please put any questions you may have in the comments below. I love to hear from you guys. Again, make sure you're subscribed, and if you want to know how you can support the channel, either through buying me a cup of coffee, through Patreon support, or through buying some merchandise, there are links in the description box to tell you how to do all of those things. I hope you have a fabulous day. Be good to each other, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.